So you want to make your first Chrome extension? Well, you've come to the right place. I'm going to show you how to make your first Chrome extension fast in 5 minutes or less, or your money back. That being said, you do need at least some knowledge of coding, mainly HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. If you're not familiar with these, I recommend free Code Camp or really any tutorial series you can find that will get you familiar with the fundamentals. So let's get started coding. So we'll be using Google's tutorial on how to make your first Chrome extension, and we'll make some minor changes to it. I'll post a link to this, a GitHub of the folders that I use, and a Google Doc as well, so that you can either follow along or just use what I've already made. The end result will be something like this, which shows an image that when you click on it, changes the text above it to a randomly assigned color. Now, this isn't the most elaborate thing in the world, but this will get your foot in the door and give you a good blueprint to further improve your extension later. Now, the first thing we need to do is create a new directory, and that just means a folder. So we'll call this my first Chrome extension. Then we'll open up that folder, and whatever text editor that you have, I'm using Visual Studio Code, but you can use Notepad++, really, or even just Notepad, whatever text editor you prefer. Once you have your folder open, we're going to add some folders and files within it. The first will be a JS folder. This will hold all the JavaScript, which is the core logic of the application. A CSS. This will hold all the styling. Image, which will hold all the images, of course. Then we'll do a manifest.json. This describes all the metadata about the extension, which basically gives Chrome an overview of what the extension is, what icons to use, what version, title. Then we'll add a hello.html file. Within the CSS folder, we'll put a style.css file, and within the JavaScript file, we'll put an index.javascript file. Finally, we'll add a couple of images. The first will be the launcher icon, which we can get from Google's tutorial website, or you could use any image you want here. We just want to make sure that we call it hello.extensions and that it's a PNG file. Also make sure you have one image called my icon. Again, this can be any image, or you can use the one that I provided in the links below. So we'll take both of these and put these in the image folder. Now we're ready to put in the code. So for the coding section, I'm just going to focus on what's important instead of me typing out the code, because I think that's boring, and also it's important to review this and understand it for yourself. So you can either pause the video or use the files that I've linked. The first section will be the manifest.json. Particularly important here are the default pop-up, which is the HTML that will be used when you click on the icon to display the contents, and the default icon, which is the icon that you use to click on the extension in the top right corner of Chrome. So next up is the style CSS. A particular notice here is the center class, which just centers everything, in blue font, which gives the heading a default color of blue. So next up is the JavaScript, which is the core logic of the application, and really it just consists of storing the heading into a variable, which is the h1 element, the image, which is the image with the ID of my image, a change heading color function, which generates a random RGB color value and assigns that to the heading's color. And this right here just means that when our image is clicked, use this function here to assign a random color to the heading. So now it's time for our blood, sweat, and tears to actually pay off and get to use our Chrome extension. To do that, we'll click on the top right corner and the 3 dots stacked up vertically. More tools, extensions, to make sure to turn on developer mode. And then we'll click on load unpacked. Now we simply have to find our folder that we made. Open the folder. Top right corner, we'll click on this little puzzle piece. Click the little pin icon so that we can see it. All right, so there's actually 2 small mistakes here. Guys, it's okay to make mistakes. So bonus challenge, can you spot my coding sin? The first was in the style folder. I put an apostrophe after the width. We'll remove that. The second was in the manifest.json file. I forgot to tell it to look in the image folder for the hello extensions launcher icon. And then when you make any changes to your extension, you can go back to this page and click on this arrow of circles. And now we have the icon properly displaying and the image with the heading that changes when you click on it. So now that I've taught you the sacred art of extension crafting, use these powers wisely.